Thank you very, very much. We're happy, we're excited to be here this morning. Let me very quickly just stick to the protocol list that I have. It's about 7 pages, but there's no way I can do up to 7 pages. Mr. Deputy Governor, they've all been acknowledged. Thank you very much. I think you should have your seat here when we start this interactive session, so that it's a double ticket. As you are taking, if they are hitting me one side, you'll also take the bullet on another side. Let me give a round of applause for Mr. Deputy Governor. Eshegonyo, thank you very much. You know, you cannot clap with one hand. Is that not what they say? You need both hands to be able to clap. Members of the National Assembly that are here, especially distinguished Senator, the former Deputy Governor of our state, Senator Dr. Adebule, thank you very much for finding time to be here. Speaker of the Lagos State National Assembly, here represented by Honorable Stephen Udube, thank you very much. Our best regards to the Speaker and other members of this House of Assembly. The Chief Judge also here, Honorable Justice Kazim Aluba, here represented by the Chief Registrar, Mr. C.A. Elias. Thank you very much. Our best regards to Honorable Chief Judge, former Deputy Governor, Your Excellencies that are here. I acknowledge all cabinet members that are here, SSG, Permanent Secretary. I acknowledge all of our former National Assembly members, all our GC members that have all been individually acknowledged one by one. Thank you very, very much for coming out and for coming in large number. I also acknowledge the chairman of all our local governments that are also here through your chair of chair. I warmly acknowledge our traditional institutions that are here, several of them from the Anyogu of Udu to Nikon of Gondo, from the Adiguru of Gogo to Nikos of Kosi, from Ranolo of Monta to Nikot of Kotu, from Oba of Dukuru to Ulu of Umushi. Let me give them a round of applause from Monta to Ketindewu of the Kingdom, from Ulu of Agege to Alai of Agege. I want to acknowledge all of you from our job at Ejigo. I say, I bid you good tidings. Also, compromising about the thank you all very much. Let's do our professional officials a big round of applause. Thank you very much. Acknowledge all of our captains of industry that are here. Thank you very much. Acknowledge all other stakeholders, CDC, CDA, WIBI, WAWA, that are here. Thank you all very much. Heads of government agencies, our market men and women, all of our civil society groups, the youth groups that are here, great youth of Lagos State. Thank you very much for coming out in large number. Thank you all. People with disability, thank you very, very much. I acknowledge each and every one of you. Thank you very much. Distinguished guests, gentlemen of the press. I said I forgot to acknowledge our party, from the chairman of the party to all of the party exco and all of the party leadership that are there. I acknowledge all of you, our various socio-cultural groups that are here. Thank you very, very, very much. Gentlemen of the press, very important stakeholders, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Today, 25th of January 2024, makes it exactly 242 days into our second administration. Our second administration has a total of 1,460 days. And I keep telling you, we count the days, we count the months, because we are humble that we are here. So in our second phase, we have done about 60% of our time. It's only a foolish man that will not know that time is the only thing you have. And there is no position you have in life. It is only for a chosen and a given time. We have done 16% of our second term. When in our 8-year journey, we have spent 1,460 days out of 2,920, meaning that we've done about 58% if you take an 8-year strength of our term. What that means is that we're not unmindful of the secrets of the mandate that you have given to us. We hold it in high esteem, we are humble with it, Mr. Deputy and I will continue to do our very best because we count it on a daily basis. When we leave here, we want to be remembered for all of our interventions only that God has given to us. So on your behalf, on behalf of Mr. Deputy, I want to thank all the Russians, I want to thank all of you, and I think you deserve a round of applause that you've given us this much time, space to flourish, to do well, and to change the course of mankind in Lagos. Today as well, we also want to acknowledge Almighty God for making it possible that through His benevolence, the former governor of the state now sits at the helm of affairs as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We also want to take for granted that at some point he was the governor, but now we see him as a man that God has destined to lead our country at this point. And so if I put it in proper context as well, Mr. President will have spent about 242 days because we got sworn in for the second time at the same time. But you can see that he's been pushing, he's been trudging, he's been doing things that will ensure that indeed his renewal agenda is on course, and we want to thank God for his life and wish him all the very best because indeed the country is going through difficult times right now. So Mr. President, I'll have your best wishes, have your best regards at all times from all of us in Lagos. Today, waking up, we also have some great news to share with you. International organizations, one called the Townhall, one of the most reputable rating and ranking agencies in the world, has come out with a report of 50 top cities in the world. And guess what? They put Lagos, your Lagos, at number 20 for the year 2024 of all the top 50 top cities in the world. It didn't stop that. Forbes also did similar things, and this report also came out yesterday. Forbes reckoned that Lagos is the number 19. These are not just things that we knew anything about. These are studies that people on their own have come into Lagos, have done research, have spoken to universities, have spoken to our international and local citizens, and they've come to a ranking that says that no matter how difficult it's been for us, no matter how challenging it has been, in the community of nations, your Lagos, my Lagos, ranked up, and it's something that we need to acknowledge ourselves and thank ourselves and congratulate ourselves for this. Also to say to you with all sense of responsibility, just yesterday when I was with the American Secretary of State, he did mention some things to me that they have been a keen watcher of the development of Lagos. Those are not words that men of his caliber will use loosely or they will use without understanding the implication of it. And I encourage him to continue to put an eye on us because we haven't seen anything yet. We are going to indeed build it bigger, build it better, and build it stronger. Because a Lagos story is an African success story. And an African success, a Nigerian success story. And a Nigerian success story is an African success story. And so we are impressed and we are committed that Lagos continue to lead on that trajectory to take the blacklist, to take Africa to international. Thank you very much. So we give God the glory, we give Him all adoration. Today, still within the first month, to wish all of you the good tidings of the new year. Welcome you to this first Townhall meeting for 2024. I want to assure you that it will not just be a chip on the back. In different parts of the state, we believe that it's only when we come out like this that we also can check and hear from you and listen to you and know what exactly are the things that you want us to do differently, and to also comment or to criticize us, and tell us these are the things that we should be doing, or these are the things that we should be doing differently. And so it gives us the privilege to render an account to the good people of Lagos, since we also sworn in 242 days ago. We've seen that despite the tough and ambitious journey that we've seen, because we've been distracted, which commemorated about a week and a half ago, they took us all the way to Supreme Court to reconfirm and to validate the mandate that they're giving to the stability and hand. But we thank God that all of that is behind us now, and we've extended our hand of fellowship, we've extended our hand of coming together. If indeed everybody that has contested with us is about Lagos, then they have the opportunity also to come forward and let us solve and take Lagos further. And so we are hoping and we are expecting that everybody that thinks he has something to contribute, our doors are open and they can come and support and listen and work with our government. And so we thank God that God has revealed to us the grace to surmount all challenges. As a government, our commitment to the well-being of our citizens and to grow our state is resolute and unwavering. We remain dedicated to the success of implementing a lot of our pivotal projects. Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, we have not rested on this post since you people of Lagos gave us that mandate. I often like to describe our second term as a season of doubling up. But I assure you that this second term we work twice as fast, we work twice as much, we deliver twice as quickly than we did the first time. We want to move very, very fast. I want to acknowledge and appreciate all of you, but to achieve a lot more for you under our Teams Plus agenda. We believe that it is still a life document. We believe that the Teams and the Teams Plus is still a working tool that we can use to change and to benefit the cause of our citizens. I will now speak to some of our team through some of the things that we've done and we're doing, so that I can give more time for questions, for interactive sessions, and for me to be able to sit back and just listen to you. It's not about what I've said, it's about listening to what you want to tell me. It's about taking feedback from you and all the questions and the clarifications that you might want. Because it's only when you do that that we can indeed be on the same page. And the first pillar, this is transport and traffic management infrastructure. You know too well that the infrastructure challenge in Lagos is huge and undeadly, but they are surmountable, and we have started that process. We delivered the first phase of our rail project, and we're happy and we're excited that first phase is even in this senatorial district. Is it not so? So when you take your rail from Mount 2 and it's going all the way to Orile, it's still within the Lagos West senatorial district. You just cross the water to get to Lagos Central. So you are still the one that is enjoying the rail the most. The phase 2 of the rail further goes into the Lagos West senatorial district, because it's taking all the way back to Okomaiko. Is that not all Lagos West? And Lagos West are enjoying it. So we continue to see that this direct intervention is for the senatorial district, or is for the city and for the state and the larger. Also to mention to you that we're hoping that Mr. President will come and help us commission the red line. It's in the month of February, and we have written officially to Mr. President that we're ready to commission the second stream, which is the red line. And we're hoping that we can do it in the month of February. I think we deserve a round of applause. The red line similarly traverses a significant part of Lagos West, starting from Abado to go past Iju is in Lagos West, Agege is in Lagos West, Ikeja is Lagos West, Oshodi is Lagos West, Mushin is Lagos West. Cabinet is everywhere. But to cross into Lagos Center when it gets to Yaba and Ibitemeta and Oyibo. So that it's not only just partial that is Lagos West, but you let it also cross to some other parts. The other rails that we're doing, don't worry, Lagos State are not forgotten you. You certainly cannot be forgotten. And so the Green Line and Purple Line are going into Lagos East, which will go into the Beduleki area and it will go into the area. So we are not forgetting you at all. But today is about Lagos West. And because they're also the biggest Senatorial, all of the rails and all of the problems is happening in that corridor. You've seen that also we added over new flyovers from the one in Ikeja alone to the one in Oyibo and the other one in Yaba. We should also be handing over the one in Mushin before end of February. I'm sure it's even almost completed now. We should just go and commission it as soon as possible and before the entire red line comes into shape. You'll also agree with me that some of these interventions the rail will do is that it will help to resolve all of the gridlocks that we have in our city. We'll be able to move a larger number of passengers on the rail and we'll be able to do a lot more trips, as we go along. The federal government is also supporting us, to be able to acquire some additional rolling stock. Let's give them a round of applause for both the red line and the blue line. Lamata has started that conversation with our manufacturer, and very soon before the end of the year, you will see new rolling stocks that are for red line, new rolling stocks that are for blue line on the one road. The other intervention that was also done coincidentally in Lagos West is your Kwebi, Mende, Ojota link roads, which is also within the Lagos West Senatorial District. But once it crosses from Uduyala to the other side, then they can say that it has gotten into Lagos East. But right now, it's still heavy construction on Lagos West. And this link bridge is meant to move traffic from 2-3 local governments and within a short while, they need to connect and interconnect up onto the other side of Uduyala. And we believe this will also ease traffic management and traffic congestion all around Toyin, Island Avenue, Ikeja, Maryland, Ojota, Oregon, and the entire nooks and crannies there. We also believe that that project alone has about almost 100 new engineers that are working with Mr. Julius Baja. There are new engineers that are being trained, there are new IT students that are good, because it's only when they see infrastructural development like that they also learn and take the skills that are being taught in their schools, take it to the field and see the benefits. So we believe that part of the things that we're doing on our transportation master plan is for us to enhance and improve all the 3 major traffic management solution. We promise you an integrated urban mass transportation system that uses rail, that uses waterways, that uses road, BRT road. Before the end of February, in fact, the ferries are ready. We're commissioning additional 12 ferries that will be handing over. I don't know if it is good with that ferry that will hand it over, or with private operators that will hand it over. The ferries have been completed. They are doing water testing right now, and each one of them can carry between 35 to 40 passengers on our waterways. This will complement about 20-something other ferries that we have procured, that we are currently using, so that we can decongest the road and take people to also use our waterways more. Not very much to collect everything, but we're sure that we want to open it up to other private operators so that everybody has a benefit of it. The rat ferry is also being used with the contactless cowboy card, which is a card that we're using on our bus system, is a card that we're using on our train network, and it's also the the card that we're using on our waterways. And so with the simple cowrie card, Lagos has delivered on our integrated urban mass transportation system. And today, over 4 million Lagosians are carrying the blue cowrie card, and they are commuting from different parts of the city, to be able to continue to enjoy the services that we are currently enjoying. It's also the era of renewable energy and also the era of EVs, electric vehicles, and CNG vehicles. Before the end of the year, the federal government will be handing over to us about 150 CNG buses, but we on our own are making plans to procure between 1,000 and 1,500 CNG buses, which are the new mode of transportation. It will improve quality, of air pollution, reduce consumption, of greenhouse emission, which is some of the conversation that came out from COP 28 or 29 that we're going for. And these are some of the new ways in which the cities are being adjudged and are being, profiled with other major cities of the world. So Lagos will certainly not carry last. We're working with some of our investors to be able to bring CNG buses and electric vehicles, and electric buses into our city. And like we said, before the end of 2024, we should be buying on our road a lot of our CNG buses and a lot of our EV buses. We believe this will help us reduce our greenhouse emission and our vision to have a zero carbon emission by the year 2050 will be on track. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's also important that I mention, because I know people are going to ask me questions around the fourth mainland bridge. And what are you doing, Mr. Governor? We've been hearing this, we've been talking about it from Lekki all the way to Ikorodu. KBC, my uncle of Ikorodu, kept asking me when is going to happen. What has happened is we've done extensive work. We've done extensive work on the bridge and on the road. But we're at the crossroad where to get the real financing out of that kind of a project, we need to be very, very creative. But we thank God because we have reached, the last final dot of the construction. Our commitment is that within this first quarter, meaning that by the end of March or April, we should break grounds to start the construction of the fourth mainland bridge. It's going to be built in phases. The phase one will be from the junction in Abraham all the way to the waterfront that we have at Baduri, right? And I'm using this opportunity to also say that we have done extensive study. So you cannot get a new road without needing to do a bit of discomfort. But we will ensure that we compensate everybody that their property or their businesses will be disturbed by this new construction. But it's going to be along existing corridors, so there will be few buildings that will be touched. But I want to assure you that not only will the landlord be paid full compensation, places where we have tenants as well too, we'll ensure that we also compensate them and we'll ensure that nobody is unduly, taking advantage of it. So that will be the first thing. The first two of it will be the bridge crossing, which will be from the waterfront in Ado all the way to Bishi in Ikorodu. And the third phase will now take us through all the way to Italewa Junction, all the way from Bishi. And eventually, if it is this government, another government, will take it all the way to Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. That is how the fourth mainland, which is a total of 37 kilometers, will meander all throughout Lagos. But we've broken it down into phases so that we can take the water, we can take a bit of so that we can take it in doses that we can measure it, and each of the phases will be open, for traffic management, so for transportation benefit, and people can begin to use it. And it's not anything new. For some of you that remember, when the federal government was building the third mainland bridge, they didn't do third mainland bridge from all the way up to Oworoshoki. we did it, and we did a first detour and went on to Ebute Metta, Abibeko, and that's federal government, before they came back again and did from Ebute Metta all the way to Oroshoki. And so that's the kind of smart development that we want to do. We don't want to give excuses, but we want to start, and want to start like yesterday, so that Lagosians can indeed know that the fourth mainland bridge is real, and it's something that they'll begin to enjoy in the days, in the months and in the years ahead. It's also important for me to mention, as part of the big things that we're making commitments to, that we also want to build, a new airport on the Lekki axis. Conversations have also gone on very advanced stage. We've done a lot of due diligence. We've done a lot of feasibility and viability studies. And we're just at the point where we need to be able to put the financing, structure perfectly with our identified concessionaire and partners. And I want to assure you too that the road, the runway construction and all of the roads leading into the airport will also be starting very, very soon. Unfortunately, the airport is not in Lagos West, it's in Lagos East. And so at least Lagos East people have something that they also can see and believe that is working well for them. So the assurance for the town hall, here today is that the conversation has gone very advanced stage, and we're committed that this airport, once it's completed, should be moving close to 3 to 4 million passengers, on a yearly basis, and be able to compete with the Murtala Mohammed International Airport. We've also done a few new interventions, on the road construction. And I think my list of the new roads is there. Mr. Deputy, please let me just road so that they know that they are real. Within this senatorial district, we've completed almost 70 kilometers of new roads, with over 2 kilometers of bridges. And the roads that I'm talking about, from the Penn Cinema to the Ishuti Road, to Ishekun, Camp David Road, to Efan Road in Alimosho, to construction of Abule Ado Road in Amuwo, to Akinde Adetiba Road in Ifako, all the way like that. But to say to you that all of these other ones have over 42 roads, that we've completed, and all of them are listed. But to mention the ones that are ongoing, in the second phase of our government, the construction of Babafemi Dada with a bridge, which is being done by CCCC, and the construction of Akeson Igodo Road, which is being done by Winchino, the replacement of Ijegun Ije-Ododo with the construction of Ijegun Ije-Ododo Road by Oceanic Construction, the construction of Abaraja Road in Alimosho, the construction of Ilieja Olaye with a bridge, at Rabia to Ogedengbe Road, the construction of Lagos Badagry, that which is the final segment on that, the reconstruction of Irede Road in Amuwo, the construction of Hospital Road in Badagry, the construction and completion of Samuel Ekundayo Road, also in Badagry, the construction of Aradagun Musafejo Idodo Imeko Road, also in Badagry, the construction of Abiola Onigemo Link Road and Bridge in Ifako Ijayi. Of course, the Okwebi Link Bridge, which I had mentioned, all of the roads that we have in Ikeja axis here, which I'm sure we are completing, Shuba Robiodo, Odudua Way, Odudua Crescent, Shashegbon, the access road at Oregun, the construction of Akakemberi Road, and there are several others, construction of reinforced concrete bridge at Irewe, Ilo Basa Road, all of the new constructions we want to do in Antoni, inside Antoni, Ajao Estate, Johnson, Umaji roads, right, all inside Ajao Estate, I can go on and on. These are all roads development within the Lagos, West Senatorial District. In Agege, there's several, Olamekon Road, Olanrewaju, Dorcas Morayo, Okoba, Ajayibe, Adebola, Aino Aika, Orile Agege, Fagbola Road, and all of it, all within the construction that they are doing in the various parts, of the city. I will move quickly to our next pillar, which is under the health scheme. I'm sure you are aware that the general hospital that we're building in Ojo is also nearing completion. In that whole axis, we have not been able to put, a general hospital there, and I'm happy that the Ojo General Hospital, which is a 280-bed, is nearing completion, and we should complete it before the end of this year. We have constructed and completed the Badagry, Mother and Child Hospital, which has been handed over. We have worked with some of our local government. Have also improved 2 additional hospitals, one in Amuwo and the other one is in Ajeromi Feludum, which are currently being used. But more importantly is to mention that we have started, and work has gone, to a very large extent at the psychiatric mental hospital in Ketuerinho in Epe, which is a 500-bed. The new children's hospital at Mercy is also going on very well. I mean, you saw some of the construction and some of the pictures, whilst they were showing it to you. But I think more importantly, even outside of all the interventions that we're doing in health, we're building, the infectious disease center, we're rehabilitating Isolo General Hospital, Ebute Meta, Harvey Road. We're building doctors' quarters in Bagada, we're building in Isolo, and all of it. For me, one of the most decisive things that we've done in that sector is the reform that we've brought about within this second phase of our government. On a one clean sweep, we unbundled the entire primary health scheme, and we appointed 7 new permanent secretaries in that ministry to be able to oversee, all of our policies and all of our intervention in the health sector. I think this single act of our government, is not only, in our view, commendable, but it has changed the entire scope of how we view health access and health implementation. And I know that all of the needed support, that our communities require at that level, the new permanent secretaries are doing that. They are doing it fully well, because they have the authority and they have what it takes to be able for them to do the job and do it well. But the important information that I also want to say again is that we've realized that in health, we need to be able to scale up and be able to have an ability to have more health practitioners in our system. We don't want to give excuses that our medical practitioners they are jalokpo, what do we call them? They are japain. We want to be able to recreate as many as possible. So I'm bringing a memo to the state cabinet, and I'll tell them in advance that we're going to be establishing a new medical university for Lagos State. It will be the first medical university that will get an approval from Nigerian University Commission for us to have a University of Medical Sciences where we can train and bring a lot more doctors, a lot more nurses, a lot more pharmacists, physiotherapists, and everything that we require in that sector. We cannot sit back and fold our arms and see our health facilities, our health personnel, being put, on this pressure. Within the last 3 years, KBS, you remember that we set up 2 additional state universities, the University of Science and Tech, in Ikorodu, and the University of Education in Ijaniki. This will be another state university, but it's going to be a university only for medical sciences. And I think that's another first for us, and we're excited and happy that we're going to put resources on the table so that we can not only build infrastructure, which we're doing in health with all of the hospitals I'm talking about, not only bring processes by ensuring that we can appoint more permanent secretaries, they can have an hands-on, but we can also strategically, start
ensuring that our children can have an opportunity to go into the health practice profession and be able to come out as new medical doctors, as new nurses, as new pharmacists, as new dental health personnel, and we can have health, accessible, affordable in all nooks and crannies of our state. That is our objective, to able to, ensure that we can improve, our health coverage within our system. I must also emphasize that we're stretching our health personnel. During our 3-4 months ago, when we're part of our palliatives, that we said that we want to be rendering free antenatal care to a lot of our pregnant women. I know it was a stretch on our health practitioners, but they've been responding very well. They've been given the service very well, and I'm excited and I'm happy with what we're doing. The Ilera Eco Health Insurance Scheme too is also another intervention that we believe that is now a first-line charge in our budget. So the capitation on a monthly basis, Lashmen does not need to wait for STO to give them their checks. It's now a first-line charge, and the monies will go for the health insurance of the vulnerable in our society on a monthly basis. We're working collaboratively with the private sector, because what the health insurance is supposed to do is, you are not meant to come only to the government hospitals. The private hospitals that are also working with us, you also can go there and get the relevant, service that is required, and on the end of the month basis, capitations will be done and payments will be made to the relevant, private hospitals. That way, you can see that health services will be accessible more even at the grassroots level. It's important for me to mention that we are also looking at how are we going to help our small and medium scale businesses. How do we ensure that poverty alleviation is real, and how do we intervene? I want to assure you that in this current administration, in this current financial year, we're setting aside a total fund of about 50 billion for poverty alleviation, for MSME support, for new businesses support, and part of these monies will not only just be soft loans, will also be grants that will be given. And I want to tell you publicly that my first promise when we open the new food market in Mushin, by the way, is also in Lagos West Senatorial, the one that we opened 2 months ago. I did promise that we want to start that intervention by supporting 15,000 market men and women. I'm glad to announce to you that we have identified the total 15,000, and we have chosen a date of February 13 or 14, where each and every one of them will be given a grant of 50,000 naira as a direct support as our own intervention of trader money in the in that sector of our market men and market women. Ministry of Agri and Ministry of Wealth Creation are jointly working on this initiative. So we'll continue to ensure that our vocational centers are active and are proactive and are pragmatic to understand what are the needs of our people and be able to alleviate poverty. Just a couple of days ago, WAPA graduated about another 5,000 or 4,000, people at the Blue Roof, and all of them were given support. They were all given different equipment for them to be able to start up their businesses, and we're happy that in the last 3.5 years, we've supported over 16,000 youth, in our various vocational centers. And we're not going to just be leaving them. We're monitoring them and we'll be following up, with them. All of these things are done at the free of charge by the state government to ensure that we can, hand over these relevant skills, to each and every one of them. We're happy with the intervention that I talked about. The House of Assembly approved for us a 50 billion social protection in our 2024 budget, and I want to assure you that these funds will be utilized judiciously, identifying all of the needed vulnerable citizens that we need to help and take out of poverty. On the tourism space, within the last couple of months, we laid the foundation for the Lagos Film City in Lagos East Senatorial now, in K2 Ejirin in Ekpe. The conversations is advancing, and we're believing that the real construction on site will start very, very soon. We are also seeing a lot of support that government wants to give to that industry. We want to identify skills. We want to identify people that have the raw talent in that industry. And part of our intervention is for us to be able to help them with training. Training is what they require. Help them open up, to various training opportunities. And we've identified 4 training organizations that we're using in our first term in office. They will continue to work with them. And it's interesting to see that even here from Lagos, records are being broken. New movies are getting to high levels, at the box offices. I've also gone ahead to watch Judah Abi. Judah. Tribe of Judah. Let's give a round of applause for Funke Akindele and all of them. Toyin Abraham, Mercy, they are all our citizens here in Lagos, and all of the things that they're doing. We're indeed very happy, with that sector, that industry, and all of the various. So we had a wonderful session in December. December is always a time when all of our diaspora population come to Lagos. And I want to say to us that this last December was adjudged as one of our very best in recent times. People came, people had the needed enjoyment, and there were no recorded incidents anywhere because we're monitoring it from security perspective. Everybody came, everybody had their needed enjoyment. The tourisms were open, and a lot of our diasporan citizens and children, some of them have gone back, and some will give you positive news that Lagos was indeed very, very safe and peaceful. And so we're not surprised with the ranking and the ratings that is coming out, as Lagos being one of the best and safest city that they will be seeing throughout 2024.
My name is Hamzat. We thank our governor for all the things that he has done. We encourage the governor to have the courage to admit that he has done very well. Just like we want to encourage Lagosians to also know that the government is operating from a very difficult angle. From a small parcel of land, 25 million people are crowded. So people must also remember that anytime we want to put a challenge before them. Which will take me to my question. Mr. Governor, we have been on the advocacy for a special status for Lagos government, for Lagos. Our own boy is the president now. Are you doing anything in that direction? All the mega cities in the world, according to the UN, there's an intervention by their federal government. Lagos State appears to be the only state among the mega cities in the world where the federal government has consistently refused to intervene on the challenges that we have. How far have you gone about that? Lagos deserves a mega city and to be recognized as a special status. How far have you gone about that? Thank you.
All protocols observed. My name is Linus Okoroji. I want to salute our governor, our amiable governor. The first day we met him as 70 CSOs for Sanwo-Olu. Everything he said today, he said in our presence. The first day we met him at Kefi. And the man has shown people of Lagos that God sent him to work for the people. So him and I congratulated him with his deputy and asked them to work together because two of them were bridged, as I see it, that time. They were brought together to save Lagos, to help Lagos, to do well for Lagos. and they have done fantastic. May God continue to help them, keep them healthy, and give them the strength to do their work as they are doing. I thank you very much. I am an Igbo man, but the way I have seen Sanwo-Olu, he is a great man, and he will do more. Not only for Lagos, he may have the opportunity to do it also for Nigeria. In Jesus' name. Thank you very much.
Before we proceed with the question and answer, let me invite the governor of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, as well as his deputy, Dr. Kadri Obafemi Hamzat. Respectfully, sir, please step forward and take your seat on the elevated platform, sir. As Mr. Governor and his deputy is making his way, let me invite for his question now the Ayangbunre of Ikorodu, Oba Kabir Shotobi Kabiesi.
Thank you, the MC. Please let me rest on the existing protocol. One of the things that I have written down to ask Mr. Governor is what Mr. Olukoba he has derived. Look at my paper to mention the special status. I am supporting you in requesting what effort is Mr. Governor is doing about the special status. Secondly, insecurity. Insecurity will be yearning for state policing. With all the efforts we are making with security outfits in Lagos, if we have established our own state police, we are capable of handling our own insecurity in Lagos. We are always number one, and we should push for the state policing in Lagos State. Thirdly, I mentioned during our meetings, interactive section with Mr. President, about the 20 local governments and 37 LCDA. We are always the first. We have the pedigree, and we are close to the center now. We want to know if we are making any efforts to make requests to ask for this, what the foundation our president has laid down for us in Lagos. If we don't ask for it, they won't answer us. Please, we want to know what efforts we are doing in Lagos. And lastly, we mentioned about the traditional institutions getting involved in the governance of Nigeria. We can start with Lagos State. Let us be part of the advisory council. We, the Obas, we have engineers, we have doctors, we have a lot of us that can have the support, what we can add to better the governance of Lagos State. That is all we am asking for. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you, Kabiesi. Mr. Governor, sir, may I crave your indulgence that you provide answers to these questions, or should I take everything in one swoop, sir?
Thank you very much for this opportunity. Mr. Governor and our Deputy Governor, my name is Olajumoke Matilda Otitoloju. I'm a disability rights advocate. My question is, 1, thank you so much. The new Children's Hospital that is being constructed at the Lagos Island. I kindly want to crave your indulgence to create a part, a section, a department for early intervention of of children that had been born with disability, especially intellectual disabilities. When there is early intervention in that hospital, it's so easy. When these children are being delivered, they are taken straight away to start their early intervention, because early intervention helps a lot in the developmental milestone. Number two, we have local government chairmen here. This is a great opportunity to speak with them. We have our state assembly here. This is another opportunity for us in the disability community. If we can have physiotherapy units in all the primary health sector, the local government can create it, because these children, they live in the communities. They live in where we have these local government chairmen. So if we have these physiotherapy units and other therapies, therapeutical activities that can help them, it will aid in their development. Yes, there is inclusion. We need more. And how do we need more? When we cater for persons with disability. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, let me invite CAN Chairman, Right Reverend STB Adegbite.
Mr. Governor, I'm standing on the existing protocol, and also our able Deputy Governor. The first thing I'd like to say is to thank you and also congratulate you in particular and the Southwest in general for the appointment by Mr. President of your son as the Executive Secretary for Nigerian Christian Privilege Commission. That is the first time a Westerner will be occupying that position, and we congratulate you. What I'd like to say is, number one, whether you are an Okada man or Marua, they must obey traffic rules and regulations. And we must tell LASMA to apprehend any offenders. A lot of accidents have been happening, and we must checkmate these. Number two, there are buildings that the federal government are no longer using in Lagos. The federal secretariat is there. Many other empty houses they are dilapidating, which should return them back to Lagos. They are on our land, and we should make use of them to reduce accommodation problem that we are facing. And number three, let me assure you that the church in Lagos, the Muslim community in Lagos stand with you and by you all the time with prayers, and also to ensure that we obey rules and laws in the land, no matter who the person may be. Nobody is above the law, and we stand with you in your actions. I will continue to pray for you, and it shall be well with your administration. Shalom.
Thank you very much, sir. Mr. Governor, sir, the last person, Chief Imam Badagry, Sheikh Abdulhakim Uwais. Okay.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Okay. I don't really have any question, but I'm here to appreciate the governor for all he has been doing, particularly the Muslim community and the Christian community in Lagos West Senatorial District. We have been supporting you. We have been doing all we could do so that we make peace in Lagos State, especially in this Senatorial District. And apart from that, especially I want to thank you for the job you have been doing in Badagry, especially to the Muslim community. We are still expecting more, and we thank you. May Allah continue to bless you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Inna atayna kal kawsar فصل لربك وانحر إن شانئك هو الأبتر.
Because your administration is a youth-oriented administration, representative of the youth, please make your way forward. The representative of the youth.
Yes, thank you very much. I am Ademosi Jamiu Adeyemi, the Vice Chairman, National Youth Council of Nigeria, Lagos West Senatorial District. Yes, I just want to make 3 questions. Number 1, sir, Mr. Governor, as young people, as beautiful as all the infrastructures and all of that developmental thing that we are doing, I feel that there is need for us to also advocate and encourage young people for research and learning. I've observed that across the state, we don't have an ultra-modern library for young people to make research. I think this should be looked into. That's number 1. Number 2, I want to ask, is there any provision, as we are doing all these road networks and all of that to decongest traffic, in the next 50 years, trust me, the population of Lagos will continue to increase. Sir, have you ever considered the possibility of subway system? Considering the first 20 states that have been awarded, 70% of them use this system. Are we also looking into that direction? Thank you very much.
Mr. Governor, sir, may I respectfully invite you to respond to all these questions, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much to all the questions that have been put forward for us. The first one from Razak Olukoba, special status, and that Lagos deserves it. Yes, you are right. This has been a conversation that has been on for a long time. The first thing we need to realize is that we are a subnational and we're part of a country called Nigeria. And we're running a federal system. It's a presidential federal system. Yes, there is a need for us to continue to make the point and to continue to agitate around the fact that we think we deserve of it. And to what is special status is all of the burden that Lagos currently carries, from traffic management to environmental issues and health, education, because of being a former capital and rest of it. So for us to succeed, it's not a one-season success. We are having it. We have not dropped it. We'll continue to have it. We'll continue to have our representative in the National Assembly because we can't do it. In the National Assembly, our senator is here. Our member of the House of Representatives are here. It's actually their call. It's actually their call. They are the ones that have the constitutional responsibility to bring the case forward. But I'm aware that you need a lot of engagement, you need a lot of collaboration. And because we also don't have a superior number of the membership in that house, there has to be a lot of trade-off. There has to be a lot of negotiation for and against. And I'm aware that our representatives are doing that. Will it happen tomorrow or next tomorrow? I don't know. Mr. President is an advocate of fiscal federalism, and it's part of the things that, that are there under ensuring that our federalism truly, really works for us, and it's not a new conversation, it's an ongoing conversation, but that is the beauty of democracy. We have to be able to have an opportunity to put our case forward and engage around that situation. So, but it's ongoing. We're hoping that we will have the listening ear and we'll have the opportunity to be able to put it forward with the National Assembly members. So we have not forgotten it. We have not. We're pushing on it, and we'll continue to have the conversation. The second question was from Elder Statesman, Mr. Linus, commending and congratulating us. Thank you very much, sir. I know that you always send critical observation to my phone. You always send advice, recommendation, and criticism to my phone at all times. Thank you very much for commending us publicly here today. The third question was from Akabesi, the Ayangburi of Ikorodu, and they talked about insecurity. They also talked about the special status, state police, and what are we doing with the 20 local government and 37 LCDA. Kabesi, I will tell you straight up that the last part of it, for the enshrinement, of the local government into constitution, coincidentally, this year will be the 21st anniversary of the establishment of the 37 LCDA, right, out of the 20 old local government. And I'm aware that all the chairmen are putting together an elaborate, conversation, on that matter, where they want to bring discourse at the national level for them to see the benefit of that decision 21 years ago and how that small baby, the little LCDs that have come out, and how they've had meaningful impact in their various communities and localities, which will be a reason, and a test case for us to justify, their inclusion, because they've demonstrated capacity, they've demonstrated competence, they've demonstrated, real ownership during the last 24 years, and we are supporting them on this journey. We're leading with them on this journey, and we want to use that celebration, that time of 21st century, to make the point, to bring people from different parts of the country, for them to see, and for them to showcase some of the projects, landmark projects and interventions that they've been able to do, and also launch other ones, to say that they are not just a mere, mention, they are actually active, they are working, and they've shown impact in their various communities. So we're working on that, and that will happen. Regarding the state police, I imagine that is also an ongoing conversation, right? At the federal level, it's an ongoing conversation, and we are not giving up on it. But like I've said, we're a federation, it has to be a negotiation. It has to be, it's not just a pronouncement. Nobody can just make a pronouncement. There has to be constitutional changes that has to happen, for all of that to happen. So we anytime we have the opportunity, we'll push it forward. Regarding, insecurity, we are taking, we're putting our own destiny in our hand. We're not stopping, we're not folding our arms. We're supporting all of the existing security architecture that we have in the state. We're raising up their profile, and we're taking charge. We're taking charge by ensuring that we can relate to them, on an ongoing basis, right? In respect of the fact that they also have dotted reporting line to Abuja. We create a working environment with them. And we have a functional neighborhood watch. These are 6,000-7,000 men that are in the nooks and crannies of the state, and we also want to improve that number because we have seen the efficiency of their work, and we have seen the benefits, of that neighborhood core. So we will continue to do that, and all of our community leaders are here. That's why we continue to engage with our CTC and our CDA. They've been a major stakeholder. We. They are my people and their people. So we are working together, and you were using them to pick information, to pick engagement at our various, and our traditional rulers, in which you are one of, you are also our sources of engagement. Thank you very much. Traditional institution, that is an in-house thing for us. With it was also mentioned when Mr. President came around. You understand? But we want the federal government to take a lead. We want them to take a lead, but we will, on our own, fashion additional ways of engaging you fashion additional ways of being able to ensure that we have regular dialogue and medium of interaction and engagement. But we want the federal government to take the lead. But once we see an opportunity for us to sit back and do that, you can be rest assured that we'll do it. Kabesi. I think there's an important question from Ms. Jumoke Otitoluju. You said that we should create very early intervention areas so that we can dictate children or kids with disability or that need special attention right from birth. That's your suggestion. I think is well taken, right? I think the people in the Ministry of Health are taking up the point, and with our agency, on disability, we will take up the point and we'll see how we can operationalize, all of this idea. Jumoke, where are you? I can't see you again. She's there? Okay. She also mentioned that we could put a department of physiotherapy, at the primary health centers. That's also a suggestion that the medical people can look at, and the chairman of our local government are also here, right? We'll probably just need to ask, what does it entail? What would that require? Do we even have enough physiotherapists that can also be distributed in all of our over 330 PHCs? How does that work? But the point has been taken, and the point is noted, and I'm sure out of this place, the points have been noted, and the conference 57 of chairmen are taking note. My Ministry of Health too is taking note. The Primary Health Board are also here. They've taken note of it. Thank you very much. Our CAN chairman, thank you very much, sir. Thank you for your kind words. LASMA will continue to raise the bar. LASMA will continue to remain relevant, and LASMA will continue to ensure that their responsibility in the state are kept in focus. We'll continue to train LASMA. We'll continue to ensure that we give them all the right skills and the right instruments and equipment to be able to discharge their responsibility without fear or favor. But they will do their law, they will do all of their operations within the ambit of the law. That's what we keep telling the LASMA. So regarding federal government abandoned property, I'm aware that federal government have just activated the Ministry of Finance Incorporated, and they have come to Lagos to have a meeting with us. We have identified some properties already that we'll be working with. We have identified a modus of operation, and I want to assure you, sir, that very, very soon, that conversation will be taken forward, and there could be exchange here and there between ourselves and the federal government. But we can't just claim or go on their assets without due consideration and proper exchange, of documentation. But we have started the conversation with them, and I want to tell you that it's ongoing effort. Chief Imam, thank you very much for your words of encouragement. Thank you for your support. Our representative on the youth, yes, thank you. Your point around we providing modern libraries around, I think that's a very, very good point. But I want to tell you, there are many that we have currently. In fact, there are several that we're also even rehabilitating. Special advisor former on education, he's not here, he's here. He's commissioner for environment now. I saw him sitting down there. Through the Ministry of Education, right, we can make available all of the public libraries that we have. Quite a number, actually. And I'm aware that we're also doing renovation in different locations that they are all. But your point you made is that out of even after the renovation, we need to be able to stock and put relevant, needed, books or materials that will make them, worth the while. I think that's the point you've made, and I think Ministry of Education will take note of that, and we'll see how we scale up. Okay. Well, I mean, they're just giving some of the libraries, They have some divisional libraries. They have in Badagry, Tolu. But I mean, the point you made is valid. There's no need for us. We need to do more. We need to equip it more. We need to have materials in them so that people can go there and they can get skilled. Thank you very much. And I think your last question was, can't we consider having a subway? A subway, by definition, is like an underground, means of transportation. So unfortunately, the terrain of Lagos, the water table of Lagos is very, 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 very high. Lagos is actually below the sea level in some part. That's why there are areas of Lagos, before you do 1 meter, there is water. That's why construction in Lagos, before you say you want to do 3-story building, you must do raft foundation, you must do piling. So what it means is that the water table is very high, right? And we don't have the benefit of a very strong substructure underneath the ground. So it's a very, very difficult and very expensive mode of public transportation if we go that line. Okay? It's going to be extremely, extremely very expensive for us because we've tested it. You understand? And so underneath, there won't be stability. That's why it appears that a lot of things that we're doing is elevated. You understand? Is elevated. But we'll continue to see, maybe with advancement in technology, it will happen. There are 1 or 2 proposals that want to do a tunnel bridge, across, Apapa Port. There's a proposal, want to do a tunnel bridge under the Tinkan Port. But there are preparatory, studies and discussions that we're having. But subways, because subways needs to be at very short intervals. We need to do the numbers and see that it makes sense, to do that or to take it, in an elevated manner. But you are right, in modern city, you need to have train infrastructure. And that's what we're building, is to have metro system. Metro could be on top, it could be beneath. And so that's why what we're doing with our red line, our blue line, they are metro system, right? But they are not just under the ground. Okay? Thank you. I don't know if Mr. Deputy Governor wants to.
Can we take 1 or 2 more to round up, sir? We have just 15 minutes more on television, sir.
Tell them the questions are for Deputy. Go ahead. Oh yeah.
Tí a bá rí ẹni tó ṣì ní ìbéèrè, ṣùgbọ́n ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe ní ṣókí.
We are going to take just 2 more.
Your Excellency, sir. My name is M.M. Azan. Something has been bothering me. If we can have Ibom Air, why don't we have Lagos Air? Thank you, sir.
I see. No, I will keep long. I will keep long. Excellency, I'm sorry, I was speaking Yoruba language because it's my language. Yorùbá ni mo ti ń jẹ. Ẹgúsẹ́, ojú òní tí Ọlọ́run wà pẹ̀lú yín. Nǹkan kan ni mo fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ bá mójútó sà. Despite the fact that that particular job is not even belong to Lagos. But ẹ bá mójútó ṣé rí ọ̀nà wa láti Ìjẹ̀bú Òde, Ìtọ́kìn See, the road is terribly bad, sir. Ọlọ́run ló ní kí Yorùbá ó dáa níran. Ojúgbó làwọn èèyàn ń gbà Adéjẹ̀bú Òde. Yorùbá dẹ̀ ní Ìjàpá ò lè rìn, àwọn ò lè sáré, kẹ̀rẹ̀kẹ̀rẹ̀ yóò ti lè fẹ̀dí kírun. Àwọn èèyàn wa náà ni wọ́n sà ń bẹ ní House of Representatives yìí. At Senatorial something náà sì tún ní àwọn èèyàn wa ń bẹ̀. Ẹ bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀, àwọn èèyàn sọ́fà láàrin yẹn o. Ojú òní tì lágbára Ọlọ́run. Àrísẹ́yìn o, Ọlọ́run á máa fún iṣẹ́ o.
Okay. My name is Chief Sanwo-Olu. I represent the silent majority in Badagry. My question is simple. I want to advise His Excellency and his team that Lagos is choked up. The rural areas of Lagos, like Badagry Central, Badagry West, Olorunda, has open area. Come and open that area for us, so as to decongest Badagry, so as to decongest Lagos Island, instead of building bridges and skyscrapers that will cost a lot of money, trillions. Why don't you divert this money to rural areas so that we too can breathe an air of relief? Wait, in the final, I want to advise the government, this populace, that if I were in the position, I will extend the tenure of the governor for the third term, because he has been doing very, very well. Please, address this issue. Address this issue. The rural areas are suffering. Flood and all these things, the natural disasters are happening. Please, direct your attention to this time around. Our representatives have been doing enough, but it requires the backing of the governor. Sanwo-Olu and the Hamzat administration, we commend you. Fire on, but don't forget us in Badagry.
The last question from a representative of the youth.
Build the youth! Mr. Governor, sir, my name is Ashade Abdusalam Abiodun. I'm the youth coordinator of the National Youth Council of Nigeria, along that local branch in Badagry. Mr. Governor, sir, we want to appreciate you for adding the plus into the team's agenda, which has given significance to the youth. Mr. Governor, we want to appeal to you for the creation and the establishment of youth departments across the 57 LCDA. This is to give adequate attention to youth development in the grassroots. Mr. Governor, sir, we want to appeal to you to declare a state of emergency on drug abuse through the Lagos State Kick Against Drug Abuse initiative. This is to help us reduce social vices that youth engage towards hard drug. Mr. Governor, we want to implore you to do a lot of rehabilitation concerning youth centers across Lagos State. Youth centers across Lagos State. We don't have any mini stadium presently in Badagry. We appreciate if you can build one mini stadium for us in Badagry. Lastly, sir, we also want to implore you to include youth in governance, particularly in the local government, as we approach the local government election. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Find out.
Good afternoon, sir. Now, from the deaf community, we appreciate your excellent speech, sir. We deaf group, we want to appeal the governor, sir, that we need enough interpreters in our hospitals in Lagos State. Secondly, our women are suffering. We need empowerment and support for them, sir. Thank you very much, sir, Mr. Governor.
Mr. Governor, sir, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I think that's the beauty of a town hall meeting like this. We can express ourselves. We can ask all the questions that are burning. The first question in this session was from a retired PAMSEC, Mr. M.M. Hassan. Why can't we have Lagos here? M.M. Shokombai, it is in the works. These are part of the topic. You know, we want to under-promise and over-deliver. It's been in our works. Deputy will tell you, I've been working on it for the past 4 or 5 months, but I don't want to make an announcement until I have clarity. And for us, it's also very strategic. If we're planning to build an airport, it just makes sense that we also have an airline that will also be a hub for the airport. But our plan is that we just don't want to go the way of others. We have done rail, we have done waterways, we have done road. The only thing that is remaining for us is air. And by the grace of God, we will have it. We'll be discussing it, but it's more, you know, around the operationalization of it as against the finance of it. So we need to get it right and know that it's something that will outlive us. We just don't want to do a show of it. We want to really do a proper study and a need for it. So you just open our heart. We're keeping it before, but since you have talked about it. Elisha, thank you. I think Mr. Deputy will talk about that, but it's a work that is already going on. Mr. Deputy.
Thank you very much. Mr. Elisha, your road is already awarded by the federal government. So we work with them, it's awarded. So what we just need to do is to make sure that the contractor moves to site. So once you award road doing, and once you award the federal government, you awarded. So, but we'll be working with them to make sure that they fund it quickly and then.
Agbodo ṣètò pé wọ́n rí owó gbà. Contractor ti wà ń bẹ àmọ́ contractor tó gbé fún. Àbá àwọn honourable wa sọ̀rọ̀ ní house àti ní senate náà kọ́ bá wa push ẹ̀ kọ́ tètè fún contractor yẹn lówó kódà kó bá lè bọ́ sí orí títì yẹn àwa náà mọ̀ pa títì yẹn tó lọ sí Toykin pé kìíní kan wọ̀nyí so ẹlẹ́ṣọ́ lágbára ọlọ́run á fún wa ṣe táwọn náà bá dẹ̀ ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ báwa náà bá níbi tọ́rọ́ kọ́bọ̀ àáfíìsì kíṣẹ́ yẹn bá dúró ṣùgbọ́n káwọn bẹ̀rẹ̀ ẹ̀ lọ ká dẹ̀ máa jọ ṣe lọ. Thank you very much. Bàbá wa Chief Taiwo láti Badagry, I think he spoke right from his heart, and I want to thank him very much for those observations. He said to us that Lagos is choked, meaning the old inside Lagos, and you are right. But what have we done as a government to open and to meet the aspiration of what you have said? One, we're doing extensively the Lagos-Badagry Express Road. We need to first build infrastructure to enable people to move there. We've done that road now to Okokomaiko. Is that not so? From 2 lanes, 3 lanes, is now 10 lanes. Abi, if you see on that road, federal government is also opening up with us because it's also an international corridor. To do that construction and take it, widen the road through to Agbara and finally get to Badagry. That's the first thing. The second thing is that we'll also do the rail. The phase 2 of the Blue Line takes you all the way to Badagry. So the plan is not just to take people to our neighborhood. We must build infrastructure that can make them come to city to work and they can go back after work. So we will have to continue to plan to build those infrastructure for it to happen. So, ti train yẹn ti dé Okokomaiko, bàbá tuntun hiding we will then lọ Badagry next thing. That's number 2. Number 3, we also have approval to build the Badagry port. Badagry port alone can employ over 100,000 people directly and indirectly. So that is also in the works. My advice is that tabati wa emata leyin because I've seen, issues where before we say Jack Robinson at Ibrahim, we have a plan for the place. The state government is also doing something around its own chalet there. We've commissioned a housing project at Idale. Abi? So these are some of the activities that we need to do. We need to go back into the tourism industry. All of our conversation around, the point of no return, ensuring that we do the slave market, and just is to activate and create, activity in Badagry. Badagry technically is an historic place that we are proud of. And I can see all my Badagry people smiling from here to here. Right? So, I'm building infrastructure here to my Losono Badagry. And then Kolesa Jara, Anchetiti, Musafejo, Hospital Road, Bukwenon Anche, Ekundayo, Samuel Ekundayo. Emma Gbelenyita, Ejekawa, Kajo Joko, Kajo Tushe. But the point that has been raised by Baba Oguni, thank you very much. The development will not remain only here. You have advised us and said that we should come and take over, new housing, new construction around Badagry. We will do that. Ashade Abdusalam, thank you very much. Your idea around the local government chairmen are here, and I think I just need to work with them. What you have said is a no-brainer. They should be able to do it. To create a department for youth, it makes sense. Honestly, it makes sense. If we have a ministry of youth development and rest, what stops them? And they are here, they are hearing me. At my next meeting with them, we will ask them what will it take them to implement it. Chairman, let's be able to do it and create offices for them. That's the only way they can engage with you, they can sit with you, they can understand what you're doing, and they can appreciate, what you're doing at that grassroots level. A state of emergency on drug abuse, great point again. We're doing everything. That's one of the reasons why we're building, first, the infrastructure. We're building the biggest health rehabilitation home hospital in the country. One of the first things is for us to accept that we have a problem, and we have accepted that. We're working with NDLA, we're giving them support. We're working with all of our traditional rulers and CDCs. We're saying to our schools, our teachers at Subeb, at various schools, that we need to be able to stop this menace. And we need to be able to identify what are the root causes of this thing. So once we're able to identify, the root cause, where it's being built, then we can reduce the prevalence. And it's something that we need to continue to talk about. We need to continue to educate ourselves about. And so, I like the point of what you say. We will continue to make it an item of conversation. We've identified with it at the state exco level, and we're trying to attack it organically from bottom up. Okay? Thank you very much. Youth centers will continue to build. We should come to Badagry, we'll build it. Are you sure we're not building a mini stadium in Badagry? The 10 stadium that we don't have any in Badagry. We have. Where is it in Badagry? Badagry, that's the land. So we're building a mini stadium around various parts. They said they were doing it in Badagry Grammar School. Yes, we're going to do it. Sebo, we're going to do it. We should get youth more in local government. What you want to be? Don't give up. And shout out and be part of it. Okay? The last question is from the deaf youth. I'm told that the training, the hearing impediment is ongoing. And we're doing one at Igondo Training Center, especially for their wives. I'm sorry, especially for the vulnerable among them. Abi? They said that we're doing it, right? But the point of having enough interpreters, in hospital, I think WAPA and Ministry of Health, they need to take that up. They need to take it up. So maybe they need more training, right? The one we are doing at Igondo, maybe it's not enough, or maybe they are not, maybe there is a lot more that we need to do. And Ministry of Health, SA Health, they said in the hospital, they need to have a lot more interpreters so that they can communicate, where they have health challenges. Okay? Please, let's take it on board. You need what? Okay, you want us to take it to the various local government. Okay, the general manager of Lasoda is here. You are sitting next to her, right? So maybe she's the one that is telling you that you make it in every local government. But it's okay. Because, see, I understand people, that industry. She and I had discussed. She was still with me about 2 weeks ago, and she gave me some ideas, some advice, and some of the things that I need to do. And I've assured her that everything she had asked of me to do, we will do it. She hasn't brought back her memo, especially regarding the albinos and all of their dressings and all of this, and I said we will do it. You said we need to also have a lot of interpreters and that's one of the things that we're doing. But you said you want to have it in all local government. The chairmen are here. Go around and let them give you offices and let us do it. Okay? Thank you very much. Chairman, that's what inclusiveness is all about. That's what governance at this level is all about. They want us to have offices of people living with disability, to take it not only at the state level, not only in Alausa, not only at the Bile, but they want it at the local government, and I'll work it with you. Thank you very much.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, let's appreciate Mr. Governor and his deputy as they go back to their seats. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate you. Let me, at this point, quickly invite the Secretary to the State Government, Barrister Bimbola Salun, to please step forward for the vote of thanks.
Gómìnà ti fèsì sí gbogbo ìbéèrè wa, wọ́n ní ká fọkàn balẹ̀ àjùmọ̀ṣe níṣẹ́ ìlú lọ̀rọ̀ ìdàgbàsókè ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó. Kódà wọ́n fi dá wa lójú wípé àwọn ò ní dánnu fún wa, ṣùgbọ́n àwọn á ṣe kọjá ibi tá a lérò pé àwọn á ṣiṣẹ́ káàkiri. Wọ́n tọ́ka gbogbo àwa ti Badagry, wọ́n ní ká fọkàn balẹ̀. Àwa ti Àlímọ̀ṣọ́, wọ́n ní ká fọkàn balẹ̀. Àwa ti Kẹjà, gbogbo wa pátápátá ní ẹkùn ìwọ̀ oòrùn ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó. Ayé ti dáadé fún gbogbo wa, ẹ jẹ́ ká fọkàn balẹ̀. Ṣùgbọ́n ká ṣe àtìlẹ́yìn fún ìjọba kó lè gún gẹ́gẹ́. Màmá wa amòfin Bímbọ́lá Sálù Déyìn, wọ́n fẹ́ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo wa pátá tí a ka ètò yìí sí pàtàkì. Ẹ jẹ́ ká fara balẹ̀.
The Governor of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, and the Deputy Governor, Dr. Kadri Obafemi Hamzat. My voice. Yes, sir. I respectfully would like to stand on the well-established protocol of Mr. Governor. I am particularly humbled today as I have the singular honor and pleasure to move the vote of thanks on this auspicious occasion. This is a testament of what Lagos State government is all about, inclusiveness. Our ever-listening governor, the people-centric governor, has met with our people from Lagos West Senatorial District. And I would say that on behalf of my people, as I'm also from the West, we say thank you very much, sir. I therefore, on behalf of Mr. Governor and the Deputy, we appreciate all the distinguished senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who have been given priority to the call of the people today. We also appreciate all the honorable members of the House of Representatives, the Right Honorable Speaker of Lagos State. Our appreciation also goes to the principal officers and members of Lagos State of Assembly. Also, my dear colleagues at the State Executive Council, the chairman of our great party and leaders of our great party, the very important members of the Governance Advisory Council. We are eternally grateful for working with us all the way. We appreciate past members of the Lagos State Executive Council, retired permanent secretaries. Our gratitude goes to all our royal fathers and members of the Council of Robbers and Chiefs here present, chairmen of all our 57 local government areas and local council development areas, heads of parastatals, distinguished guests, people living with disabilities, and our ever-vibrant youths. We appreciate you all. Our special thanks to members of the professional bodies, theatre arts practitioners, and members of the Committee of the Wives of Lagos State Officials Council. We thank the Yaloja General and members, Market Men and Women Association, our religious leaders, and chairmen of various unions and associations. All our eminent persons here present, we express our deep sense of appreciation. Please pardon me in case I inadvertently omitted some personalities who should have been singled out. It is not intentional. Mr. Governor and all of us are grateful to you all. Our sincere thanks go to all the invited guests present, including members of the press. May I, at this point, say this to Mr. Governor and Mr. Deputy Governor. Sir, as you mentioned, Mr. Governor, that you were going to build medical universities in Lagos State. My people from the West said I should let Mr. Governor know that please make sure it is built in the West Senatorial District. Thank you very much, Mr. Governor. I thank you all for being here. Thank you, and God bless you all as you go back to your various destinations. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ma. We'll have a photograph session. Mr. Governor, the Deputy Governor, Senator representing Lagos West Senatorial District, Representative Mr. Governor, sir, the Deputy Governor, I want to invite you, sir, for a photo session. The Senator representing Lagos West, representative of Mr. Speaker, representative of the Chief Judge, please, honorable members of the House of Representatives, Agege Federal Constituency, Koshofe Federal Constituency,